Recently, the Sidemen faced off against the YouTube Allstars in their somewhat regularly scheduled charity match. It's a bit mental that a bunch of YouTubers and streamers could come together and not only raise £4.7 million for charity, but also play at a sold-out Wembley. YouTubers selling 90,000 seats at the home of English football is a little bit mental. You can think it's cringe, you can vehemently hate it for whatever reason, that's whatever. They're raising money for charity at the end of the day, and that is very admirable. It's always a fun time when the charity match comes around, and this one was no different. I mean, the game ended 9-9 for crying out loud, and we got to see a penalty shootout as well, with an extra 9 penalties scored. When is the last time you've seen 18 goals at Wembley plus penalties? I don't think that's ever happened before in the history of football. Yeah, it's never going to be the highest quality of football, but it's a fun old watch, and you get to see some of your favourite creators playing football and just having fun. You know, what's not to love? And of course, with a football match comes football shirts. And that's where I come in. If you don't know me, I quite like football shirts and take a great interest in shirt design. I've made many videos in the past creating new shirts for Premier League teams each season, and I wanted to extend that treatment to the Sidemen and the YouTube Allstars. This time around, they were given some pretty nice looking templates from Adidas, but last season they actually received some bespoke designs. The Sidemen shirt made by Nike featured a sublimated SDMN crest throughout the body of the shirt. Not too sure about the All-Stars kit, there aren't any good pictures that I could find online of the shirt, but it doesn't look like they got the same treatment, but I couldn't say for certain. So that's not as epic, but you know, the effort for the Sidemen is good. That's the one that's going to go on sale for people to buy, so I guess it makes a bit more sense you put a bit more effort into that one. Circling back to this season's shirts though, and it's 2 very solid shirts from Adidas, even, you know, if they are quite basic templates. I actually think the design featured on the All-Stars kit is rather nice, and both of them together are very cohesive shirt designs, so whoever was in charge of making these shirts Adidas, you cooked. And honestly, better than some Prem teams, I can't lie. Now, nobody asked me to do this, but I decided to take things into my own hands anyway and cook up some possible designs for the next charity match, should there be another one. I'm sure there will be. It seems like too big of an event and such a good cause that they're going to just stop after playing at Wembley, but who knows where they take it from here. So yeah, I've designed a new shirt for the Sidemen and a new shirt for YouTube All-Stars. Some of my ideas behind the designs, so let's just jump into it, shall we? So of course we're going to start off with Sidemen FC. This is their event after all, and are a massive reason why the event is as successful as it is and how it keeps growing year on year. I know many of the Sidemen boys enjoy wearing football shirts outside of their football videos, so I wanted to create something that looked just as good as a piece of clothing and out on the pitch. I was a big fan of the bespoke elements from their last Nike shirt and wanted to implement something similar in my shirt design. And I opted to use the Adidas Tiro 25-26 template, which in itself has some crazy potential for some all-timer kits in the coming season. Now, I always like it when a football team has a shirt that ties back into the club itself with some bespoke elements, you know, things designed specifically for that kit and that club. So I want to implement some similar design elements in this shirt as well. You know, the Sidemen, they've got an extensive online presence, they've got a very large brand, so there are many different design elements that I could choose from for this shirt design. So I spent, you know, a good couple of hours trawling through the different Sidemen channels and the many businesses for design elements that I could take for this design. My main idea for the design surrounded the XIX branding, not the vodka brand specifically, but the inspiration for that name as well, which was the date the Sidemen were founded on the 19th of October 2013. It's confusing, but the branding is clean, so I'll allow it. I particularly liked this design here from a piece of Sidemen clothing, so I stole it. Quite frankly, I nabbed it. It looks nice. I'm using it in my design. And I used that as the basis for the main design element of this shirt, although I did add a few little tweaks when ripping it from the shirt itself. Now, if you've seen any of my previous shirt videos, you'll know that I'm a bit of a pinstripe merchant. So I wanted to tie that into this design as well, while still keeping the design unique as we've just had a pinstripe kit for the previous charity match. Side note though, when rotated, the XIX here kind of looks like a DNA strand, which is something the marketing could play into if this would have become a real shirt. I added a retro style collar because they just look class, and we've not seen one in any charity match yet, which kind of strange, you know, but I guess that's not really in the templates that these clubs or these manufacturers offer at the moment. But hey, I'm designing the shirt. I have ultimate design authority, so I can do what I like. To add some further details to the shirt, I added that same XIX design as a line across both the collar and the cuffs as well, keeping them uniform and just adding a nice extra design touch to the shirt. All topped off with an SDMN neck tag and bosh. So I'm very happy with the design that I've created here. I think it's a good implementation of design elements that are tied to the Sidemen, which further links the shirt to the team or to the Sidemen and makes it a proper special piece of kit for a special event. I'm not going to lie, I may be biased, but I think I cooked here. But if you're watching, let me know down below. Also, tell me which one of these two kits you think is best. This is the Sidemen one, and we're going to jump into the YouTube Allstars one now. Yes, the YouTube Allstars. The team of Theo Baker, that's about it. And Chris MD, I guess. The YouTube Allstars was a different idea entirely. Unlike the Sidemen, the YouTube Allstars don't exactly have any branding that isn't tied directly to YouTube itself. So in place of some of the more bespoke designs I could have created using YouTube's branding, I opted to play into the star part of the Allstars name. I perused many different star designs before settling on this one that Leo used back in 2023. Their design looked like this. I think it's quality, so you can still sort of see the design in there, but I wanted to make that all just one colour. I think the star there is pretty cool. I rotated them and arranged them diagonally across the body of the shirt and also across the arms as well. Now, traditionally, the YouTube Allstars shirts have been mostly red with a little bit of white on the kits, and I wanted to stick to that colour scheme here. So I designed a mainly red shirt using 2 different shades of red, as well as using white but relegating that to just the trims and the logos. I think that having a matching collar and cuffs is a cheat code when you want to make a cohesive shirt design. I did it on the Sidemen shirt and I've done it here again as well. But this is a more traditional design. I also added some darker shades of red to keep the design more visually interesting than just one block red colour, as we saw with a previous Nike shirt, which just doesn't really look nice at all. And I think just a couple of shades of red in there makes it look a lot more interesting. All topped off with a YouTube play button neck tag to pay homage to those YouTube roots and the name YouTube Allstars. So yeah, these are the 2 shirt designs that I've created for both teams. Which one do you like the most? Personally, I'm a fan of the Sidemen shirt, but that has more bespoke elements that I could have used to design that, whereas the YouTube Allstars one was less bespoke elements because it's tied to YouTube, but YouTube have nothing to do with that team. It is just YouTubers and content creators, so it's a bit of an interesting one, but I'm very happy with both the shirts I've created nonetheless. But what was your favourite? Please let me know. Anyway, I have been O2GT, and overall, this was just a fun design experiment that I wanted to do. Much like my Premier League shirt videos, I don't expect anything to come of these designs. It's just something that I enjoy doing in my free time, and creating shirt designs that tie into the club. It's just something I really enjoy. You get to research into the history of the club and make some really nice shirts along the way. It was a fun challenge when both of these teams don't represent a specific area like your normal football club would, but still, I think I've created 2 very unique shirts that represent both of their teams well, and some pretty solid designs that look very nice in person. Sidemen, if you want these designs, hit my line or follow me on Twitter. That's probably easier. I'm not putting my phone number out here. These will be my shirt designs for the next charity match, whenever that may be, if one does come into fruition. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.